Hi there, welcome to Shopcast number 28. This one is about Silky Merino, it's a yarn that we've had in the store before, but we've just got a new stock in. Here it is. Isn't it lovely? There's burgundies and blues and bluey greens and purples and hot pinks and mellow pinks and cream and some gray. Can I show you the gray? Yeah, it looks kind of blue in the monitor, but this one right by my elbow is actually a fairly grayish blue. And then this. And these are actually the same color. They're called Archangel, but it's one of the Malabrigo hand paints. They're quite lovely. Okay, details. It is a blend of silk and merino. Shocking, I know. Silky merino and all. 51% silk, 49% merino, 150 yards for 50 grams. It is a hand wash yarn. It is a singles. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so something to know about the hand paints is when the skein looks like this, it means there's a pretty good chance that it will pool, because whatever you're knitting, these sections will eventually line up together, and then you'll either get clumps of a color or you'll get zigzags of a color, or if you do it intentionally, you get vertical stripes. Now, there are some patterns that people have worked with yarns like this. Socks to Rock that we used to carry will do this. Felicia's Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock will do this, and it's called intentional pooling. And if you go on Ravelry and look in the groups section, or maybe the forums, and search for examples of pooling, good and bad, you'll find a great big long thread that has a ton of pictures, and the way people have done these things is that they'll see where the colors line up. Generally, a lot of these, if you fold them in half, so purple's at one end, through the orange, and the lighter color at the other end, you can sort of see how it was dyed. So the skein is lying down, the dyer is painting sections across both folds. And anyway, so you do a little swatch and you start knitting here and you count how many stitches till you get there, and then you develop a pattern with that number of stitches. And what it means is that you'll go back and forth and back and forth, and your purples at one end will all line up at the edge of a row, and whatever's at the other edge will line up, and you get these really cool vertical stripes. It's awesome. Not using one of the multicolors, but there we go. Using one of the semi-solids. This was one of my very early patterns that I self-published. It's called the Seedy Slouch hat. It's one of these ones that you kind of pull back a little bit, and it is reversible. So on this side, you see kind of dents of stocking stitch, and on the other side, those actually wind up being bands of linen stitch. And it's way too hot to actually wear a hat right now, so very short modeling stint. But we do have this pattern available. You can buy it from me on Ravelry, or you can buy it here in the shop. This is not a beginner hat pattern. It's done from the top down. One of the reasons why I like designing that is that increases, yeah, you can hardly see them, but part of it is that increases are much less noticeable, and they're also much more flexible than decreases are. So when you do a decrease, you knit two stitches together and they overlap. So now you have something that's 2 stitches thick. But if you're doing an increase, you're generally either pulling a strand out or you're just adding some more string, and there's no extra bulk. So that's why I like making hats from the top down. This one has increases from the top down. It has figuring out seed stitch right away while you're doing the increases. It has linen stitch. It also has a folded hem that's grafted in place. So it's a whole bunch of techniques that it's not beginner suitable, but you could come to a knitter's helpline and get a hand doing that. Now, here's the exciting thing. During the summertime, it's been much quieter in the shop during the day, so we're actually going to be running daytime classes. So during my shifts on Mondays and Thursdays from 12:30 till, doing math, 12:30 to 2:30, I'm going to be teaching Knitter's Helpline classes. Up to 3 students, because the store is still open, so there won't be quite enough room to have a regular class of 6. But 3 students, $20 a seat, and you can bring in whatever project you're working on, and I will give you help. So you can sign up for as many of those classes through the summer as you like, or you can sign up for a single shot, and they are ready to go right now. So you can call us to register or drop by. And the other thing about my Knitter's Helpline classes that I've just arranged that in the fall, I'm going to be moving the classes that have been on Tuesday nights, and they have been very exclusively registered by my ongoing students. I'm going to be swapping it over to Monday nights, and it will be first come, first serve registration. And those are going to be available to register right away. They will be available just in single chunks, so you have to register for an entire month, like all of September or all of October and all of November. Payment is due at the time of registration. No spots being reserved without full payment, so it'll become really more straightforward for the staff to register, much easier for many of you who've been trying to get into the class to come in, and a little bit more rotation through the class so more people get help and get to come in the store and hang out and look at all the beautiful yarn with me. It's fun. The other classes that we have going on in the summer, particularly an exciting new one, is knitting for children. Now this one's on Saturday mornings. Reading the notes, Saturday is 9:30 to 11 a.m., July 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th, so that's pretty much all of them except for the first long weekend. And $80 includes all the materials. You learn cast on, cast off, knit, purl, experiments with color, and create random drop stitches while working on a fun stripy scarf. So, if you have little ones who are at least more young than you probably, and just a hint, it's not the best thing to try and learn things from family, especially if the family only knows how to knit one way, or perhaps has less patience, or the kid's a little wiggly, and there's generally a different relationship between kids and a teacher than it is from kids and a parent. So, I taught swimming lessons for 17 years. I know all about this. But I'm not going to be the teacher of that. I think it's Karen. She's one of our new staffers. Don't quote me on that yet. I'll probably correct that in the notes tomorrow if I find differently. But you can give us a call and register for that too. I think that's all I've got for this week. Our phone number is 604-874-9665. It spells wool. Fancy that. You can find us online at 3bagsfull.ca. That's where we also have our full class listings, or on Facebook, 3bagsfull Canada, and Twitter, 3BF. All right, hope you're having a lovely summer. Talk to you soon.